we can't come up here and not talk football. And Sammy McCorkle is here, the head coach of Dartmouth football. So round of applause for Sammy.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being here.
Finally, a talented McCorkle in New England football.
Any relation?
I don't know about that.
Any relation to Mac?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
I could claim it, but I can't.
Yeah.
Somebody will figure that one out.
Yeah. Do you have an opening for him as a fifth year if things don't work out?
We can do our best, that's for sure. The only problem in Ivy League, you can't take any graduates.
Were you the Ivy League Coach of the Year last year?
I was.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It took a village. They really did. It took the whole team program to help us do that. So.
What do you think from the outside looking at Drake May and that pick by the Patriots?
Hey, that's why they have a front office, right? That's why they get paid the big bucks. And I think obviously they know what they need to do, and hopefully he can come in there and perform the way they expect him to do that. So, I don't got a problem with that pick at all.
Yeah.
When it comes to Ivy League, I always find it fascinating the different rivalries that present itself because you look at like Harvard, Yale, stuff like that. Who is Dartmouth's number one rival?
I'd say probably Harvard.
Okay.
That's the location.
But does it bring
proximity.
the same energy that a Harvard-Yale type of game
Yeah,
brings?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think if you ask Harvard if we're the big rival, they're probably going to say no. They're going to say Yale.
Okay.
But I think every game in the Ivy League, there's so much history with each game. You can find some type of rivalry there. But I would say for us, it's going to be Harvard. It's going to be, and Yale's become a big rivalry for us because we're usually, especially in the last 10 years, it's us playing for a championship. It's Yale against Yale, Harvard, or Princeton, HYP. And so we're going to treat all those games as a big game because it is a big game. That's the thing in Ivy League. You lose a game, you're behind the eight ball pretty early.
And it's also crazy to me. I mean, we talk about it on our show all the time, especially when we talk about BC. Wiggy will always say to me, well, BC is never going to be the top of the top because they always have to deal with the academic side of it. Mm-hmm. As an Ivy League head coach, and we were talking off air, you've been there for 20 years.
20 years, going on my 20th. Yep.
So, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
a feat in itself. But to deal with these student athletes that are in a very difficult academic schedule as well, how do you balance that?
Yeah, we
they have somebody take classes for them.
Yeah, right. I wish. It's not easy, but we have a support system, at the school that helps with that. But our guys, you obviously finding that small percentage of individuals out there in the country that not only are very good football players, we're competing against the academies. We're recruiting against Northwestern, Stanford, Georgia Techs. But finding that combination of those type of student athletes, it's not easy. But when they get there, we obviously have the support system to help them through it, and they figure it out. They're smart; they can do it. So, and we have the highest graduation rate in the country. We're at 98%.
Wow!
So that's pretty impressive.
Well, sure. I think they're both very happy at UMass, but we could do a little deal for Wiggy's kids right now if you. I
was going to ask them.
If you have interest.
Yeah. How many years they got left?
One's got 4 and the other one's got 3.
We can work with that.
But there's a Porsche in the parking lot thanks to UMass.
But I guess the difficult part for especially the Ivy League, because you say you're competing against like Stanford, Duke, and all those other schools. The thing that makes it difficult is those schools have scholarships that they can give out, where the Ivies don't give out any scholarships. Why is that a Division I school can't give out scholarships because it's in the Ivy League?
Yeah, that's the private institutions, right? And I think the big thing is even though we don't give out athletic scholarships, it's all need based,
right?
And our school has done a phenomenal job. There's a huge donation by a family, $150 million to our financial aid office that we can utilize. So even though
is that Curtis's family?
Yeah, I don't believe so.
No, even that couldn't get me into Dartmouth.
I don't know. You might want to try. But I think the thing is that we're able to set some have packages for certain situations where you're going to go for free. And some of our student athletes, they come there, they're going to get paid. But obviously it depends on what their family situation is. But that does become an issue at times where we are competing against a full scholarship school, and you have that upper middle class family. That's the tough one because they're like, hey, we're going to pay $40,000 a year. I'm going to send my kid here to go for free. Those are the tough ones we face usually.
You may not deal with it as much as a Nick Saban would have or whomever, but from a college coach perspective, is the portal a good thing or a bad thing?
For us, it really does not affect us. All right, it really doesn't because it helps our players because we use it in recruiting. We tell a guy, hey, come here, play at Dartmouth. We'll help develop you, get a Dartmouth degree, and then if you have that 5th year, that opportunity, you can go play in a Power 5 place.
Right.
We'll help you get there. And that's what a lot of our guys are doing that now. But you know, transfer, we don't. We can take. That's why I asked how many years I got left. You know, at Dartmouth, if we get a transfer, they've got to be a freshman somewhere else or a sophomore. Once they're a junior, they're not going to accept them.
Right.
So it really hasn't affected us too much. And once they come to Dartmouth, it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave that degree once you get there.
And you've been here for 20 years.
Yes.
Is it accurate that Animal House is based on Dartmouth?
Well, the guy who wrote the script went to Dartmouth.
Okay.
And there are parts of it. Yeah.
There
If
are
you drive
parts.
around, we don't tell parents that when they come down and visit, because they do remember Animal House. And the guy who wrote the script.
Courtney has no idea what Animal House
No,
is.
never seen it,
Yeah.
but
Classic.
I guess I'll add it to the list. In the same breath as the transfer portal, NIL deals, do you think that's changing the whole landscape of college football?
Oh, no doubt. It's a different beast now. And I think it's gotten to a point they're trying to now, colleges now, and NCAA is trying to control it a little bit, but which they're going to try to have to. It really hasn't seeped into the Ivy League, but it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, we tell guys your NIL, you get that Ivy League degree. You know, you come out of college, come out of Dartmouth, you get that six-figure job. You know, that's our NIL right now. But there are individuals who have their little marketplace stuff going on, but it hasn't. You know, I think that's the benefit of being the Ivy League is we're not dealing with that stuff right now. Transfer portal and NILs. You know, it's pure still.
Yep.
And hopefully it'll stay that way.
Well, I'm sure you got a great staff. However, my guy was unceremoniously dumped by Brockton High School.
Union thing. Union thing.
I don't know if you need anybody, but he is.
We're always looking. We need all the help we can get.
I wouldn't. He ran the offense for Brockton. I wouldn't have him participate.
Pretty good offense.
in the offense at all.
Freshman quarterback.
Freshman quarterback. So it's
don't
difficult
know.
when you have a freshman quarterback.
I wouldn't have.
Get-
I wouldn't have him touch the defense. Maybe.
No, I don't stay away from that.
Maybe special teams, or I don't know if there's an opening. But
we can work that. We can work
Yeah.
it in for sure. No
Okay.
doubt. We're always looking for help.
Who would have thought last year when Bill told Wiggy ball security is job security, both would lose their jobs because of ball security?
I know.
What's the like the recruiting process like? What's the most difficult thing that maybe some of the challenges for an Ivy League versus a regular like UNH that's an FCS school that maybe you guys have to deal with that they might not necessarily have to deal with?
Obviously the first thing is the academic part of it. We've got to get approval from an admissions office. That's all Ivy schools. So, you can have a blue chip, you can have a 5-star, you can love them, you can be the dude. But all of a sudden now you got to wait for the admissions office to approve it. And then it's the financial aid part of it as well. Those are two big hurdles we have to face. And the thing is, we start with a list of 22,000 kids to start a class, right? And then we got to narrow that down to 25 to 30. And so trying to narrow that list down, and recruiting is getting so much faster now.
Right.
And it used to be you can narrow that down in 9 months. Now you got to do that in 4 months. And so that whole process, you put a lot of time and effort in somebody, then all of a sudden you get to the end, and the family says, "Hey, we can't write that check," or "Hey, academically he's not acceptable." That's a lot of time and effort you put into it, and it's a strike. So but you just got to move on. You got to keep those lists going pretty much the entire time.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for coming by.
No doubt. Love being here.
Congrats on being Coach of the Year.
Appreciate
And
it. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
You got to do that again.
No pressure, right?
No pressure at all.
I follow the governor too. No pressure there either.
Go. What do we say? Go green.
Go big green.
Go big green.
Yeah.
All
Greg,
right.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask one last thing before it goes, just to kind of?
Will it take an hour?
No.
Okay.
Two seconds to prop it up. Any guys get a NFL tryouts looks? I mean, because you see a lot of guys from there. I played with Matt Burke, who went to Harvard, so there are a lot of Ivy League guys that come out and get a chance in the NFL. You had any guys, or maybe you have a guy that could potentially be that next year?
Yeah, we had Quentin Arello, who was a safety for us last year. He's got an opportunity, got a tryout. He's in the camp. And then, the thing with Isaiah Johnson, who played at Syracuse the last 2 years, he was a starting corner for us. He got picked up as well. So, we've got every year we're going to have 2-3 guys who are going to have an opportunity, have a shot. A good thing about it is we have a lot of Dartmouth alums from the front office. We were just talking about the Roonies.
Right.
So that helps too.
Right.
They know who we are and we know what we got. And we're super excited about it.
All right. Go big green.
All right, thanks
you
so
Coach.
much. Appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming by this morning.